In this activity, we are going to be using PowerPoint to create a muscle car presentation using images I provided for you. So first thing we want to do is open up PowerPoint. And once you get that open, you'll see a blank presentation. And let's use the blank one. And then we're going to move to the design menu and we're going to pick out a theme. And there are many more if you select the arrow at the bottom here. So I'm going to try to use one that is very plain and it doesn't compete with the images here. So something very solid. So we have this blue background, and you can change with PowerPoint the colors, which also affects the font that you use. But so let's go ahead and use a generic one like this. And then what I need to do is bring some images into this PowerPoint. So you can play around with the design, and I want as little area for the font as possible here. So in the layout, I'm just going to select the text box and I'm going to manually move it. And so PowerPoint offers the option where it'll do all this for you, but I like to have the control. So then I'm going to insert the photographs. Now you have to download these, but once you have in a file, just drag them in, and then you can manipulate them as you choose. So we'll go ahead and you can type in your name here on the first page. And I notice that this is a little small, and I'm using this Century Gothic, which happens to be all caps, and you can choose one of your liking, but I do want to get this larger. So pretty straightforward here. Now to get another slide, what we want to do is essentially bring in another slide, but let's go ahead and work on this font here. So we'll have it appear so it comes from the side. So let's go ahead and select the appropriate entrance. So I'm going to have this fly in, and I can change the direction of where it's coming in from. Alright, so let's try to do what I'm doing here, just so we can make sure that we understand how to do these simple procedures. Alright, so I've got that in here. Now the best thing to do is right click onto it and say new slide, and it'll use that same format. And then again, let's go ahead and insert a picture, and I'm going to bring in the muscle car, and I'm going to scale this, make it fit the page. And I really want to try away from skewing the images, so we want to keep it in the proportion that it is. So in this case, let's just take the font, the file, and we will have it come in and from the bottom. And then what we'll do is, we've done the entrance, we'll have it spin around. And you have to be careful when you do presentations, you don't do too much of this, because it can actually make the viewer a little seasick, so to speak. Alright, but it is good to know how these operations work, and it'll fade out. Alright, so you can also play it, and you want to play these to see how long this lasts. And you can, just by simply dragging and stretching it, you can change the duration of this. And this is under the animation panel. So you want to make sure that you're learning how to do this. Alright, so we'll do another slide here. And let's go ahead and bring in another photograph, and this one's going to be of the Corvette. You can bring in the Mustang if you want, but in this case I'm going to do the Corvette. And I want you to notice here that the font is behind, so I can very easily right click and bring it forward, or I can go over here in the format and bring it forward. And then I'm going to change the font again, change the color of the font, Alright, so we're going to write 3 things here. Looks great, looks good. Push enter or return. Makes me happy. And I want this car. If you don't like cars, you'd still want this because you could always sell it. These are worth a lot of money, these old Corvettes. All right, and then it helps to make it pop out, but put a little shadow behind it. And then again, let's go to the animation, and let's have this come in. And you can add more effects. It's fun to play around with these and see what you have. And preview it. Okay, so I don't want to get too carried away here, just trying to cover the basics. And then we'll create one last page here. All right, let's make this a little longer. All right. And you always want to test the animation. So we'll play from, that's the beginning. All right. So we can do a new slide here also. So for example, if you want to change the background, this is the way you would do it. And we'll bring in our last picture for the last page, which is going to be the rear view of the car. And I'm going to scale this up. You have to be careful that the pictures are not too bitmapped, that they are quality resolution. Again, I need the font to be in front, so let's send the picture to the back. And the font comes front. And then I'm going to just type in here, I want to say the end. Get it? Rear of the car, the end. We got the pun here. All right, the end. And again, this font needs to be a lot bigger. I'm going to center it. And then what I want to do before I have it go away is I'm going to change the color, but I want to do a little animation with just the text. All right, so make it nice and bold and shadow effect. And then for the animation, do something a little different here. And you can actually do your own animation where it follows a path. And I'm just actually going to use this loop here. And you can see what it does. And if you select it, you can actually make the loop bigger. And that's what I'm going to do here. So you just have to play around with it. Best thing to do is go move it, do a little test, and see what you've actually created here. All right, so I've got this box to be a little bit bigger. So you can see the course that it's going on. All right, and then I do want this to fade away, and this will be the last sequence of this PowerPoint presentation. Okay, so in order to do this, I have to click through here, which is fine. When you do presentations, you can make it automatic or you can click through it, which helps because if you want to elaborate, you can. Otherwise, it's kind of a movie. Okay, so I'm just doing my final test here, and I've wrapped this up. And then you can hit F5 on your keyboard and push play and see what you created. And you are done with the PowerPoint activity.